Hello, hello, beautiful people of the internet. I'm here. I'm live. Thank you. Thank you all for your patience. Sorry about that. The beverage, by the way. Oh, are you sure I'm muted? Uh-oh. I think you should be able to hear me. Not muted. Okay. I was like, uh-oh. I see the meter on my screen. If you can't hear me, I've got bigger problems. All right. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Appreciate everyone's patience. Oh yeah, beverage. This is coffee. I'm still drinking my morning coffee. I got to a delayed start due to some things I had to work through with my day job. But, you know, to those who guessed at open heart surgery, stroke detection, actually more time intensively important. But everything's okay now, I promise. I'm not neglecting my, people who, need to stay alive. Everything's okay. We're good now. But I did have to take care of some things. But we're good now. We're good now. The BattleBrawl can resume. Still sad about the loss of Goblin shit yesterday. Yeah, I mean, the nature of the tournament. It's just how it is. Half of the teams must be eliminated. Stroke detection is important. We can wait 40 minutes. Yeah, exactly. It is important. And, we can wait 40 minutes. You know what can't wait 40 minutes? Looking at the results of a CT to know if you need to give blockers or unblockers, essentially. If you make the wrong call, it's not a good result. So anyway, we're good now. Everything's all right. Let's see. Sorry, I'm a little bit disorganized as we get started. But it looks like the first match will be Noble Sir Bones and soon to be Pelts. Let's see. Let me just double check a few things on all of the platforms and such. Make sure I'm actually live on YouTube, etc., etc. Should be. But I didn't even get a chance to check. Looks like I am. Lovely. All my regular checks and balances and such, didn't get a chance to do them, but looks like we're good. Waiting 40 minutes meant you could be here to see how your team gets demolished, so you're very happy that happened. Well, good. Good. To those who are just tuning in, this is day 2. You can see on the screen here that round 1 was completed yesterday. If you're watching on YouTube, you should go back and watch part 1 of this video series so that you can get a context for what's going on here. BattleBrawl is a community-submitted tournament, or community-submitted teams for a tournament that I'm just here to help administer. And so I've got a couple mods here helping with polls and predictions that we run in the interim. Huge thank you to those assistants. And I suppose, without further ado, I can get stuff locked and loaded. I'll get the teams loaded up, and we'll get started. Okay. You call foul, you got screwed by the terrain. I mean, a bush ate like 10 arrow shots. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the nature of BattleBrawl. Random stuff just happens. Looks like polls and predictions are up. Thank you very much for the assistance. So, Noble Sir Bones has an Anointed Knight with a Geist, a Ancient Dead Honor Guard, 2 Ancient Legionaries, and 2 War Dogs. On the side of soon-to-be Pelts, we've got 2 Unholds, 5 Direwolves, and 1 Serpent. And now keep in mind, these teams that you see today will all be pretty strong teams. They all made it through their first round, so the competition only gets more fierce. I was gonna say, yeah, Falsers, what do you do in harvesting caviar? Or maybe you always speak in first person through your servants, as, would make sense to do. Just watch part 1 on YouTube. Can't wait to know which units are undervalued in points. I will show that at the very end. I will show which units were overpowered all along. There are, as I mentioned yesterday, one of the units was completely undrafted by the 32 teams that made the cut. One of the units is just barely made an appearance, but not in its final form. And the two others show up, but maybe not in the full combination in all places. However, one team did make use of them. I'll give that information at the very end. Hope it's not Orc Berserkers? Is not. Every prediction has been wrong, but I will withhold on giving any more information, because it's fun, because I can. Sometimes partake in brief stints of menial labor to stay in touch with the lessers. Yes, that's why I don't buy a snow pusher. All right. Poll and prediction are in. Let's get the first match underway. All right, let's see what our Anointed Knight's name is. Sir Reinald. We're going to have some canine on canine violence right at the start. You believe in AI incapable of focusing on a single target? All right, round 2 is where the action's really going to begin. The real test in this particular fight is going to be whether these unholds can, first blood, stave off just enough damage so that they can out-regen the damage put out by Noble Sir Bones. Ooh, grabbing a high ground hex, interesting. Sludgy Alps are too expensive, please reduce the cost. They probably are. I agree with that. You like the unholds, but you think that knight can solo both of them? The knight spawning with a noble sword is definitely to the knight's benefit. Between the knight with the noble sword and the Rompia and Crypt Cleaver on the honor guard, I do think you're correct, Future Bible Hero. I think they'll be able to outdamage their healing. But the unhold seeks vengeance, seeks blood. God, honor guard is so strong. That's so much damage. That's so much damage. The knights have only spawned with swords. Can they spawn with mace/warhammers? Actually, that's a good question. Maybe the Anointed Knight can only spawn with a sword. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. The Anointed Knight in the first match spawned with a mace? Oh, okay. All right. Then I guess we do know the answer to that. Yeah, I would say things are not looking good for the unholds. The bleeds are going to stack up on that bottom one, and the weaponry on the side of Noble Sir Bones is probably just going to be too much. Even the ghost getting in on the carnage, the ghastly touch. Looks Jover, looks Jover. I mean, the unhold is confident, but I'm confident he's probably just gonna die. Ooh, Ancient Honor Guard missed a 95. Ooh, you know what should be a... And this is maybe something that I can either bug TaroEld about, or even again, I could make a pull request and add this. I feel like, you know how in the arena, in the base game, when you miss a super unlikely attack, like a 95% chance, the crowd does an ooh. There should be a checkbox to enable that in the combat simulator. If you've never noticed, well, you've never been frustrated by missing too many 95% in the arena. That would be cool. Yeah, I think so too. An auditory indicator of bullshit RNG, you know? God. Ancient Honor Guard doing tons of damage. The Unholds have put on a good show, right? but it's not going to be enough. Okay, and there you have it. Yeah, 210 damage decapitate. Okay, and so that was round 1. Noble Sir Bones takes the W. I will do my best to not incorrectly say out loud the winner of a team like I did at the very end of last stream. Oops. I am not infallible. I hope that everyone can forgive me for any mistakes that I make along the way. A lot of this is, unfortunately, pretty manual. Pretty manual. Okay, up next we have the Jolly Herd versus God and the Undead. So I'll go ahead and get the match set up. I hope everyone's having a lovely, lovely, lovely morning. Mine has been mostly lovely. I at least got to have my morning coffee. And honestly, that's all that really matters, right? They have become pelts. Yes, they have become pelts. Okay. The Jolly Herd. A very... Honestly, this is... I'm not going to say this is a repeat, but damn, this matchup is really similar, isn't it? The Jolly Herd, containing 2 Barbarian Unholds, 5 Goblin Skirmishers, and a Brigand Killer, is not so different from soon-to-be pelts, so they might become pelts as well. And the side of God and the Undead, we've got an Anointed Knight again, accompanied by a Ancient Dead Legionary, a Fault Finder, a Necro Savant, a Zombie Bodyguard, and 2 Geists. What's a Fault Finder? A Fault Finder is the unit that you find at the new legendary locations related to the Ancient Reliquary that pull units around. They also explode corpses into miasma corpse explosions. Soon to be pelts with a hint of green? Yes. On a related note, if I'd had more time this morning, I thought about wearing a green shirt. That way I could be a disembodied head because I think that's funny. But I didn't. I would have liked to, though. I find that just hilarious. Maybe a little disconcerting, but you know, it could be fun. Maybe annoying to watch for a full 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours or however long these take. Because like this beverage has a little space of clearness because it's too close to my green screen. So there's just a tiny little see-through area, which is fun. 24-hour stream ahead, you heard it first. I don't know how people do that. I don't think I'm capable. Okay, looks like this is a pretty close matchup, though slightly more believers in God and the Undead. Let's get our second match started. The vampire will carry Copium. All right, so this time, Lord Eberecht spawning with a Warhammer. Honestly, a Warhammer is not the best weapon here. We would have much rather seen Lord Eberecht spawn with a noble sword to deal with these unholds. Terrain hacks. Coming from someone who predicted Team 1. Oh no, that unhold swapping. Oh, that's not good. Oh, the Jolly Herd is in trouble. The Jolly Herd is in a lot of trouble. Should be a green balaclava so Slurgy can be just eyes. That would be funny. Some blood is spilled already. Ooh, okay. You know the corpse explode is actually pretty good here too. This is a slaughter, it is. By the way, I like can't even read the word slaughter without in my head saying it as slafter. A buddy of mine and I used to play a game called Chronicon, which is just like it's an ARPG. It's a fun game. And when you take out a bunch of units, it says slaughter, but we would always say it out loud as slafter. Just, I don't know, because we're dumb and we wanted to say it that way. So now I always read that word as slafter in my head. Chronicon is fun. Chronicon is fun, actually. It's we always used to joke that our dream was the non-interactive gameplay that it can provide you. If you can get a build that sort of plays itself, almost cookie clicker style, it's pretty fun. This team seems really strong. Yeah. They've got a lot of tools, right? I agree that they seem strong. Questionable move by that Necro Savant. You get to keep the unholds in the next 2 rounds? I don't think so. I like the attempt though, Fulio. Still surprised you won a round? Ah, I don't know. Jolly Herd performed well, at least in the first round. Necrosavant, questionable move. That's just a Necrosavant half the time. I mean, that's true. Now, that said, you know, these... Nah, never mind. I was going to say that the damage on the side of God and the Undead isn't super high, so there is going to be a bunch of healing from the unholds, but probably not enough. I don't know what that Brigand Killer is doing. Literally doing nothing. Yeah, he's just AFKing. He has active abilities, so. Free agent unholds win the round. Yeah, so if the unholds win, we'll still count it as a win for the Jolly Herd. Honestly, it's still possible that they win. Is there a world where the unholds will attack each other since they both turn? Only if one of them turns. What actually happens behind the scenes, as far as I know, is that they swap to the Beast faction. So as long as they've both swapped, they won't attack each other anymore. If only one has swapped, then yes, they will attack each other. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I think the Necrosavant, as long as he hits his attacks, is going to be able to put out enough damage. So even though the damage output is kind of low, looks to me like it's probably enough. Especially since we've got a little bit of bleeding going on both units. Warhammer not very good against an unhold though. And of course we've got that Brigand Killer who's just, I don't know, hanging out. Just hanging out. I don't know what this Brigand Killer is doing. Nope, where are you going, Mango? Nope. Mango was sitting on my feet, and he was like a really nice foot warmer. He's leaving me. What a jerk. Brigand Killer playing chess while the enemy team playing checkers? Yeah. Yeah. I don't... Yeah, the Brigand Killer... Oh, Mango. He not only stopped being my foot warmer, but now he just runs upstairs to bark at the window. Disaster. Alright, so now it's just the Brigand Killer left. And he's being hunted down. Yeah, it's looking like God and the Undead is going to take it. And so, the winner is God and the Undead. Alright, so I'm going to get Brokeback, Ballin, and the Anointed set up for the next match. Lots of Anointed Knights. Pretty strong unit. Okay. GG to the Jolly Herd, by the way. Of course, one of the things you may have noticed is that it's pretty common for the Anointed Knights to make it through. They're pretty strong. 93k prize purse? Oh my goodness. Shall donate a portion for a VIP table at the Slurgy Gala this year. Lovely, lovely. Okay, teams are loaded up. On the side of Brokeback Ballin, we've got 4 Alps, 5 Ancient Dead Auxiliary, and a Hex. Ooh, lots riding on the charming wiles of the Hex. And then, of course, they've got a Brigand Poacher as well. On the side of the Anointed, we've got an Anointed Knight, a Ancient Legionary, and 3 Billmen. I think Mango barking at the window or door might mean that he needs to go outside. Just realized he hasn't gone outside since breakfast, have you, bud? You haven't even gone outside since breakfast. Is that what you need? Or no, you just, all right, you don't want that. All right, that's great. Yeah, you don't have to. I was just wondering why you were barking at the door. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. I really liked it when you were a foot warmer, though. Can you do that again? Can the skeletons sleep by the Alps? Yes. Not only that, but the Hex will for sure succeed in the mind control. So this will be an interesting match. Bufo the Jig, thank you for the subscription. Very much appreciated. You believe in your knight? Ah, so this is Trash Comp's team. You love to see it. It would be suspicious, of course, if you were to bet against your team. Like you might be doing a little match fixing. $50K on the booba? Ooh, bold prediction, falsers. Kingsley, prepare my conservatory. I wish to stroll amongst the orchids while I watch the booba match. Yeah, you got to be able to duck behind a bush if you need to, you know, take care of business. You know, don't talk to me till I've had my goon. Put that on a coffee mug. Anyone who doesn't bet all on their team is not a true believer. I agree. All right. Pretty close predictions. You know what? This is going to be an interesting one. I really could see this going either way. Kind of depends on how the Anointed move forward. Let's get it started. Ooh, that Crypt Cleaver. Oh, that's gonna be big. Alp's getting wrecked, but that might not be that relevant. We've already got some Charmed Violence. Oh, shit. So far, the Anointed has hurt themselves more than Brokeback Ballin has hurt them. Oh my goodness. This is, honestly, the Hex is pretty perfectly positioned. A lot is going to be riding on Lord Randolph to carry after, well, all of his team is dead. Probably from his own hand. First blood. The Anointed kills the Anointed. An own goal. Oh, jeez. Is that a beard on the skeleton? Sure is. Skeletons can have beards. And you know, the units from the Noble Army have pretty low HP. So the Alps are kind of ripping them apart. This is... Ooh. Brokeback Ballin is... It's a nice comp. It's a nice comp. Now, of course, Lord Randolph, he's got glowy eyes and is going to be extremely resistant to charms. Can Lord Randolph do it? I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Your financial advisor and mentor taught you to always bet on the booba? It's true. It's the economy of the future. Now, something to keep in mind is I don't think the Hexen will attempt to charm a sleeping unit. So, a little bit of miscoordination there from Brokeback Ballin. This is actually going to end up pretty close. Pretty close. There's not that many units left for Brokeback Ballin. And Lord Randolph, he knows better. He's been trained to resist the booba. There might be a comeback here. That's right, we did get the first dance of the day. I should have played it out. I love it when the units just decide to dance. Lord Randolph. Oh, some dancing. You love to see it. Yeah, Lord Randolph is well trained. I will say that. Yeah. Absolutely. Chadley resistance. Of course, the Ancient Honor Guard cannot resist the booba. So Lord Randolph is on his own now. If he gets charmed, it's over. Interesting. Does the fight end if the last unit is charmed? It does. And if the last unit is charmed, it is a victory for the team that charmed that unit. So far, Lord Randolph has resisted every single charm. But if he fails even once, it's over. Ancient Boner card. That's so stupid. I love it. Ooh, a Hex. Interesting. What's he got for hit points? 170. All right, he'll be fine. Oh! No! Oh, I thought the final charm actually passed? I can't believe it. No. Oh my. Oh. Lord Randolph was finally like, you know what? I've had enough. I will succumb to your twisted wiles. And Brokeback Ballin wins. I actually, now mechanically, that might be less likely than a 5%. I'd have to remind myself how the charm works, but I think there's like a couple different resolve checks it has to get through So I suspect that's even less likely than 5%. I hate to break it to you, but that was like a 1 in 400, I think. Incredible. Or it could be some other number, I'm not sure. But in any case, the W goes to Brokeback Ballin. I can't believe it. What a twist. What a turn. What a match. Insane. Insane. All right, up next we've got Haunting Nobles versus Cudetat. I love it when there are unexpected upsets. That is my favorite. That is my favorite part of the BattleBrawl experience. Incredible. Let it be a reminder that when you're playing regular Battle Brothers and you get unlucky, it was inevitable. It's going to happen to everyone at some point, and you can see it when the AI fights the AI. Okay. Charm is a double roll, have to win both to charm. Okay, well there you go. It might be a charm, it might be a double roll with like a modifier though. I'd have to look. In addition to the sound for missing a 95% hit, we need a sound for the Hex Charm working. Actually, that should just be in the base game, I think. But, okay. On the side of the Haunting Nobles, we have 2 Zweihanders, 5 Geists, 2 Man-at-Arms, and a Fencer. On the side of Cudetat, we've got a Barbarian King, 3 Fencers, and 2 Killers. Ooh, okay. This is gonna be rapid deaths. There's gonna be a lot of killing going real fast. This is gonna be a bloody match. Hope the killers aren't actually slackers this time. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird behavior. Mango has switched from being a foot warmer to a lap warmer. I liked the foot warmer better, but this is nice too. Blood is what we're here for. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. I also appreciate those who have placed their prediction and then boldly speak in chat. As if to say, I don't care. I don't care to broadcast and tell people what I bet for. Or who I bet for, who I bet on. Do we have access to this mod kit to run it ourselves? You do. I didn't add it to like an exclamation mark command, but I do, if you do exclamation mark BattleBrawl, I think I do in that list the versions of the mods that are relevant. So Combat Simulator is the one that you want. You can find it on Nexus. Cudetat looked crazy strong in round 1. Indeed. Indeed they did. Looks like more people are believing in Cudetat. Cudetat? Cudetat. Is that how it's pronounced? Man. Hey, you're welcome, Zeldist. All right, 82% believers in Cudetat. Falsers believes in them as well. 60k on the French team with the Fencers. Percival, grab me some Wagyu fat from the cellar and use it to polish my swan helmet. There we go. There we go. Get some tallow in use. All right. This is going to be brutal. There's going to be blood spilled real fast, and it's going to be violent, and I'm looking forward to it. 3 Fencers are just too strong unless they fumble their luck. Probably true. But I don't know. I mean, Haunting Nobles have some pretty powerful units as well. Don't underestimate them. Questionable move from the Barbarian King. Oh shit, the Fencer. Oh no, the Fencer from Haunting Nobles just missing their attacks. so far, plenty of damage from both sides. Again, killers with no nets, that's true. Ooh, big stun. Big stun from the man-at-arms. Yeah, I don't know. I think the fencers from Cudetat have not been able to put out as much damage as they need to. Ghosts trying to scare a barbarian king. First blood. I'm surprised it took that long. Okay, ooh. Ooh, head hit there. Why is that barb just standing there? He wants to get up there. He wants to get up there. He's trying to get to the ghosts. Oh shit, that fencer just cleaned up. Yeah, I think unless this Zweihander can pull out a miracle against the Barbarian King, the Haunting Nobles is going to be in a lot of trouble. Mellow Man with the cultured, what is that, Billy Kirby? Is that who that is? Yeah, it is. I was pleased to see when I looked at the Twitch. I screwed up yesterday and didn't auto-record the VOD, so I had to like download the VOD to upload it to get it in YouTube properly. Anyway, on the front page it tells me, here's who, you know, or here's your most popular emotes outside of your channel. I'm very proud of y'all for using the spear wall in other contexts. Anyway. How are the teams created? They are user submitted. So these are teams submitted by members of the community. And there it is. Cudetat. Victorious. The Haunting Nobles, unfortunately, unable to be spooky enough. Built by points? Yes. There's like a spreadsheet that I have teams submit and then make a bracket and rock and roll. So yeah, Cudetat. Cudetat is the winner. Had to double check to make sure I didn't screw up. Better luck next time, Haunting Nobles. Up next, perennial sponsor of the stream, Big Swordlance versus Hardened Knock Life. Hold on, one too early? Did I screw up? Oh, you're saying, oh, hold on. Okay, you're responding to your own comment. Okay. I was like, uh-oh, did I screw up? No, I see what's going on. No. Have no fear. Well, I'm a little ultra paranoid because at the very end of last stream, I screwed up one of the winners, announcing one of the winners, which I'm shocked. I think that's the first time that's happened, and honestly, I'm a little surprised by that because, you know, it's pretty easy to do. Okay. Second side of the bracket now. That's right. So on the side of Big Swordlance, we've got 5 Ancient Dead Legionaries, 2 Polearm Conscripts, and then 2 of the Elite Polearms, which I think are the Palatinus? Maybe? I can't remember. And then on the side of Hardened Knock Life, we've got 4 Gladiators, 2 Slingers, and 2 Conscripts with Polearms as well. Should be a pretty good match. Of course, given that Big Swordlance is a sponsor of the stream, will this match, already just be rigged? Might be. Curious about this? Yeah, I mean, the gladiators have really good stats, but they're actually not that durable when compared to vanilla. I think a lot is going to be riding on the loadout for the gladiators. You almost submitted maximum gladiators. They seem strong-ish. Yeah, they're pretty good. They are not one of the 4 units that I believe are overpowered. You made a gladiator team a few brawls ago. You hate that they don't spawn with helms so often. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Getting wrecked by flails is, it hurts. It hurts. You believe in the gladiators? Put all your life savings on them? Bet CT all. I increased the cost. I think they're 10. Yeah, I increased the cost of a lot of the high-end units. In Hardened, they gain nimble if they spawn without a helmet. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, and so we've got slightly more believers in the big Swordlance. Interesting. Let's get this one started. So these guys have nimble, and then what? These ones have flexible. Okay, interesting. Ancient Legionaries shield walling up, holding a solid front line. Very strong. It's true, the gladiators do have good armors, but they're gonna be pretty surrounded. And there's gonna be a really solid wall on the side of Big Swordlance. It's gonna be tough to break through. Whew. Big attack from that gladiator. The Kriegsmasser, very strong weapon. It's gonna take out one of those pole arms right away. Rebuke active on that gladiator. See if that ends up relevant. So far, no. There we go. Shield push. I think the Ancient Palatinus is, they can withstand a lot of attacks. I don't know what that gladiator in the back is doing. The one with the 3-headed flail. He's just like hanging out. He's just hanging out. Just hanging out. So far, I think it's looking pretty good for Big Swordlance. Ooh, especially with that attack. He can't see? Maybe he just can't see. Yeah. And now he can. Big Swordlance is so methodical, it really is. A front line of skeletons with, you know, shields is just so strong. Ooh, we got a little friendly fire there. That Ancient Paladin is taking out a friend and a foe. Still pretty close, honestly. Shield wall and polearm combo so strong, both historical and in-game. True. You think the gladiators have it? You think so? I don't. I actually think Big Swordlance probably has it. So that was a big deal. Honestly, what happened over here, that was going to be a large part of, you know, determining the final result. Kriegsmaster is strong. It's so strong. It's so strong. Don't curse the Swordlance? True. I won't curse him. This is still really close. This is still super close. Rebuke active on that bottom gladiator. Skeleton's hitting some pretty low % chance hits. I don't know. I think Big Swordlance is still going to take this. It's looking likely. Almost for sure, actually. Now don't lose your high ground, buddy. Don't. Mistake. Yeah, Big Swordlance gonna take it. And Big Swordlance takes it. Wait, why are they? Oh, right, never mind. I guess it's technically not over yet, but, well. Oh, this is cruel. This is a hunt. This is a hunt, Mango. Now, they can't flee, so speed up time? No. Let's watch this at the speed Dov Cool intended. This is the best part. Clever girl. Oh no. Now, Skellingtons, you can be smarter than this. There it is. Sluggerso, yeah, he is, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Boom, there it is. Head flying off. You can't quite see it, but because the chat's in the way, but his head was lopped off. And the winner is Big Swordlance. Good try, Hardened Knock Life. Up next, we have, as Darkso has stated, We Wait You Bait versus Curious Mix. All right, I'll get the teams loaded up. You know, the only downside to having Mango as a lap warmer is it makes it more difficult to use my keyboard. He doesn't care. Why would he? All in for Curious Mix. That's the spirit. Okay. On the side of We Wait... Now, hold on. I never did... I was going to correct this. I just didn't get the chance to do it this morning. These are Direwolf bodyguards. That has been fixed. Sorry. So we've got 2 Brigand Bandits, 2 Fencers, 1 Standard Bearer, 2 Zombies, and 3 Bodyguard Frenzied Direwolves. On the side of Curious Mix, we've got 2 Geists, 1 Shrat, a giant tree, a Mercenary, 2 Barbarian Chosen, and a Zweihander. Looks like most of the people... Oh, no. Even split. It's a pretty interesting match. They each have like a really fun unit mix. And I think a lot is gonna depend on how the units engage, which I guess is always true, but I feel like when you've got units like Shrats, for example, you don't want the Fencers to hit the Shrats. But if the Fencers are attacking the Barbarian Chosen, that's pretty good. So, I don't know, should be interesting. I'm just, So far, Shrats have underperformed, but I don't see a ton of anti-Shrat damage on the side of We Wait You Bait. Of course, after losing all your points, your all-in is 140. That's right. Hey, 140 is still all in. If it's all in, it's all in. Don't worry. You'll get your side pot. 75k on Curious Mix. Farnsworth, have my triple dipper flown in from the nearest Chili's. Make sure the tendies are still hot when it arrives. Ooh, the triple dipper. Aren't people like really into Chili's these days? Isn't that like a thing? My only experience at Chili's and Applebee's and other such restaurants has never been very positive. So, though TGIF is all right. Okay, let's see how this one rocks and rolls. Direwolves deciding not to act as bodyguards. Simply rejecting and dying. There we go. That's the spirit, Mr. Fencer. No, don't attack a tree. The tree's no good. Okay, we got a net thrown down from that Brigand Killer, making it so that Zweihander doesn't do an attack. Pretty big deal, actually. Chosen missing that attack also hurts quite a bit. These direwolves are the don't worry, he's friendly off-leash dogs. You know, even when we walk Mango, I always say, don't worry, he's friendly. And he is. And he's always on leash when we walk. But he's still like... Whew, Fencer. Good attacks from that Fencer. He still gets like so excited. He's been a hard one to train. I will say that. We are good dog owners, but Mango's he's been a struggle. He's a sweet boy. He just gets too excited. So this Fencer on the top behind the Shrat does not have good jumps available. Will these Chosen hit their targets? Ooh. Not a good choice. Fencer's just pouring out damage. Now the Shrat's gonna end up alone at the end, almost for sure. Oh, puncture. Ooh, big attack from the Zweihander. This is pretty close. Barb's got RNG wrecked, missing all their attacks. Kinda true. Damn. Ooh, big attack. That zombie rising up is actually kind of a big deal. On the side of we wait, you bait. It's gonna sort of lock down that Barbarian Chosen a little bit. No, just kidding. I forgot, they have, oh, okay, yeah, right. Well, you know, it's the thought that counts. The Fencers are pretty stammed out. I don't feel like there's going to be enough damage on the side of we wait, you bait to take out that Shrat, but we'll see. We'll see. Brigand Killer refusing to give up his high ground. Oh, picks a new one, actually. So now it's a duel. A pike versus a tree. Uh-oh. Zombie, is there a necromancer? No, they were just zombies on the side of we wait, you bait. Strat finally paying off, yeah. Strat finally paying off. Say that 5 times fast. And Curious Mix takes it. That was a close one. That was a close one. Curious Mix with the W. Better luck next time to we wait, you bait. All right, up next. Ooh, this will be a good match. This will be a good match. These are two teams to watch. We have Friedewold's Finest versus the Wack Lords. Ooh, gotta put the brackets back up. Your team, Friedewold's Finest? Nice. Friedewold's Finest is pretty strong. Friedewold's Finest is very strong. Okay. Got those loaded up. Mango's making this very difficult for keyboard dexterity. Okay. And here we are. On the side of Friedewold's Finest, we've got 3 squires, 2 knights, a halberder, and a military donkey. Pretty strong setup. And on the side of the Wack Lords, we've got the 1-2 punch. 2 assassins, 4 barbarian chosen. The daze and death blow setup on the side of Wack Lords up against the brave knight buffing effects of a knight with their squires on the side of Friedewold's Finest. Honestly, I think one of these two teams could win the whole thing. I'm sorry for cursing both of you. Military donkeys go through intense training? That's right. Sure do. Thanks, Lurgy. I mean, these are 2 strong teams. The knights and squires, like, interactions with each other is really powerful. That may be related to the 4 overpowered units. 2 of them, anyway. Betting all the teams on your points, as you should. It's the right thing to do, Pink Unicorn Lover. I mean, honestly, Wack Lords is a really strong team too. I like the simple beauty of death blows and dazes. It's good. It's strong. Squire Knight and Anointed Knight, getting closer. You're mostly right. Just a little bit of time left on your prediction. Looks like we have slightly more believers in Friedewold's Finest. $50K to your associate, the Noble Squigs. Soon he shall chronicle our profits. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, pretty close prediction. Let's see who wins. Squire's becoming confident immediately. Let's see, who are our knights here? We've got Sir Eckhart and Sir Fritz. Ooh, uh-oh. On the side of Wack Lords, there's not a single mace to be found. Only the hammers. I mean, it's literally every other weapon that they could have, but what that means, they will not provide any dazes. Oh no. Chosen going for the flank on the donkey. No, that's not the play. That's not the play. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna get some death blows from one of these assassins. Ooh. But with reduced damage? Uh-oh. Now, of course, Friedewold's Finest, despite putting out some pretty good damage, is just sitting in a little bit of fire. Stabs? Why would you use stab when you have death blow? Oh. Assassins throwing. Barbarian Chosen changing their mind. Halberder with the Volge, the 2-range cleaver. Less exciting than the halberd, but still pretty effective. Ooh, don't destroy shields. Don't you know you just gave him double grip? You fool. Sir Fritz putting out some serious damage. The stuns from the squires might just be too much. Good rotation. Yeah, Sir Fritz doing that rotation. Clutch, saving their halberder. A lot's gonna be riding on this final Barbarian Chosen. And, not looking good. He's going for the shield. You never go for the shield, you fool. You fool. Whereas Friedewald's finest, putting out all those stuns, pretty strong. Barbarian Chosen managing to stay alive another round, that's kind of a miracle. Your money's on the Squire team to win it all? Mine too. But, now that I've said that, they're cursed. We had a good run. You had a good run, Pink Unicorn Lover, for sure. It's a cool team. Kind of unlucky with weapon spawns. That's at least part of the problem there. And there we have it. Friedewald's finest takes it. It's a nice squad, and honestly, the donkey, that's bait. That's bait, but you know what? Sometimes baiting works. Friedewald's finest is the master baiter. All right. Up next, we have, to put it bluntly, versus Beauty and the Beast. The final match of round 2. I tip my fedora to you. Love it. You love to see it. I actually, technically, own a fedora. It was my great-grandfather's hat. I don't know where it is right now. But maybe one of these days I'll milady and surprise the stream. Okay. The match is up on screen now. To put it bluntly, has... Ooh. You know what? Wait a minute. Hold up. There we go. I just didn't press the button. All right. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Sorry. To put it bluntly, has 1 Hedge Knight, 3 Nomad Slingers, 3 Squires, and 2 Executioners. Great Grandpa's fedora is actually cool, though. It's a Stetson, which is like the fancy brand. And the side of Beauty and the Beast has an Orc Warlord, 4 Nomad Executioners, and a Fencer. Just a bunch of sluggers on both sides. You love to see it. A lot's going to be riding on the Orc Warlord, as often is the case. Got a mix of predictions for both sides. Believers in both sides right now. For good reason. For very good reason. Oh my god, Mango. If only you could see. He just rolled on his back with the limited space he has, and he was doing this little motion with his paw. Like, hey, rub my belly. You know what I want. Yes, sir. For the orcs, last one left. Might be the last orc left. I think that's probably true. But if you're going to have any single orc be the last orc left, a warlord's a pretty good choice. Team 2 hype. Team 2... So far, the Team 2 advantage has been minimized. Okay, like a perfect 50-50 split? Incredible. Yeah, this could go either way. So let's see how it goes. From the poll, people are believing in Beauty and the Beast slightly more. But when points are on the line, it's an even split. $25K on Bluntly. Kind of a meager bet from someone with such a huge pile of chips. I suppose you don't want to blow them all, though. Hedge Knight with a big old two-handed mace. Pretty strong weapon. Yeah, big bonk on both sides. Hammers and maces. Ooh, first blood. Fencer one-shots. One of those nomad slingers. Hoarding coins for the final. Smart. We got some sand being thrown around. A little pocket sand, pocket sand, pocket sand. Ooh. Squire's missing their stuns. That's not good. That's not good. Fencer not really able to get much damage on the Hedge Knight. Shield push? What value were the executioners? You know, I don't remember for sure, but I did paste the values in the BattleBrawl channel, the Discord. huge knockback there from that executioner, pushing his ally away. We've got some nice cooperation on the backline between the Fencer and the Orc Warlord, the Beauty and the Beast, if you will. But the Hedge Knight's still alive and kicking on the side of To Put It Bluntly. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, Executioner might have been slightly undercosted, but it is not one of my 4 overpowered units, if you'll believe it. Hedge Knight? I don't know about that one. Pretty questionable maneuver there. Things not looking too good for To Put It Bluntly. To put it bluntly. Looking quite bad, actually. Orc Warlord might get the Hedge Knight taken down here and just... No, misses. 69, nice. % chance attack. And misses it. Big attack from the Hedge Knight, but almost certainly not enough. And there you have it. The Beauty and the Beast carry the W. Executioners costing as much as Bandit Killers? Hey, I think those are 2 unchanged values from the Hardened defaults. All right, and the winners are the Beauty and the Beast. And now we move on to round 3. You love to see it. Where our first match will be Noble Sir Bones versus God and the Undead Mango. You are... Mango. What are you doing? This is what I need, like a dog cam, because he is stretching out all of his limbs to their maximum distance. You're get it together, Mango. He's like pushing his paw against the microphone. Sorry if you can hear that. I don't know if the shock guard will prevent that or not. It might cause a subtle low rumble. And if you hear that, that was just Mango, I don't know, pawing at the microphone because that's what he does. Okay. On the side of Noble Sir Bones, we've got an Anointed Knight, a Geist, 2 Ancient Honor Guard, 2 either Melees or Milites, I can never remember, and then 2 War Dogs. On the side of God and the Undead, we've got an Anointed Knight, so an Anointed Knight on both sides. A Palatinus, I don't remember, again, a Fault Finder, a Necro Savant, a Zombie Bodyguard, and 2 Geists. Actually, really similar teams. This is kind of a mirror matchup. Not a lot of dogs necessarily like to be, I don't know, held like a baby, but Mango seems to, he asks for it sometimes. He's a goofy boy. Our finals best of 5. Finals are going to be best of 3. Finals will be best of 3, Corvus Gorak. All in on God and the Undead. This is kind of a mirror match-ish. Dogs being on their back means they're very submissive, so it means you trust you. Well, yeah, that's true. Kind of the same for cats, right? Although sometimes it means come at me so I can bat at you and bite you. Which, you know, is also trusting. It's just they want to play. $60K on Noble Sir Bones. Giles, send one of our scientists to collect hair samples of that dog that was just on screen. I wish to clone it and bring it into my employ. Yeah, he's a special boy. And you can't see it super well, but he's actually got heterochromia. So he's got 1 blue eye, 1 brown eye. Okay. One of your cats loves belly rubs? Yeah, some do. Some do. All right, let's get this party started. It's always fun with a cat you don't know. The question of, does it want a belly rub? Or is this a trap so that it can attack my hand? And if you don't know the cat, you don't know the answer. Swan Hat, that's true. On the side of God and the Undead, Lord Bertwin with a swan on his head, you'll love to see it. Lord Hakon with the antlers, I'm gonna be honest, antlers not so good. A golden goose or swan, much superior. Necro Savant going after the fleeing dog. Questionable choice. Ancient Honor Guard, however, are just so strong. I have a feeling they're gonna clean sweep. What if there's only a ghost left for each team? Can they melee each other? I think they can. And as soon as one of them connects... I don't know about that one. Okay. Guys, take it. Boy, there's a lot just happened there. Fault Finder kind of doing a cell phone there. A little bit. In 2 different ways. Ooh, big attacks from Lord Bertwin. Huge attacks, in fact. Nope. Pushed away. God, Ancient Honor Guard are so strong. I'm just gonna say it every time. They just are. PTSD from actual gameplay. Ooh, big attacks from Lord Hakon. Lord Bertwin's got his work cut out for him. He's got a high ground hex though. He's got a high ground hex. That's a big deal. Necro Savant, nice snipe on a weak enemy. Well done. That might be enough. We'll see. Things looking pretty good for God and the Undead. Necro actually doing smart things, yeah. Ooh, getting that high ground hex. That's a pretty big deal. Lord Bertwin taking a moment to recover. Lord Hakon proccing 9 lives on the Necro Savant. Big attack there. These hammers are like the most damaging weapon for both sides. I mean, yes, one side only has one weapon. It's Ogre? I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's Ogre. This is really close. This is really close. The high ground plus confident is a really big deal. Noble Sir Bones, I suspect, is going to take this. Heck on, if you do this, I shall send 5 of my finest show donkeys to your estate. I mean, Lord Hakon has fully stripped the armor off of Lord Bertwin. Lord Bertwin just can't land an attack. Oh, it's so close. Now, the armor's been fully stripped off. So if one of these ancient Palatinus sword attacks hits, it'll be a big deal. Ooh, claiming the high ground. That might have done it. And there it is. God and the Undead. Lord Bertwin ends up claiming the life of Lord Hakon. Okay, so the winner is God and the Undead. Let's see, where am I? There we go. Okay. Oops. Sorry for all the button pressing. I am going to use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll do the next match. Be back in just a moment. All right, I am back. So I'll put the brackets back up. And where are we? All right, I need to load up the next team. So we've got Brokeback Ballin versus Cudetat. Nope. Mango, where are you going? Okay, we'll get the teams loaded up here, and we'll get the next match underway. Oh no, why must you choose? I mean, you could sit out, but that'd be pretty boring. All right. On the side of Brokeback Ballin, you'll no say? I don't know. On the side of Brokeback Ballin, we've got 4 Alps, 5 Ancient Skellington Auxiliaries, our lovely Lady the Hexen, and a Brigand Poacher. On the side of Cudetat, we've got a Barbarian King of the North, or like a Barbarian King, I should say. Just Barbarian King. 3 Fencers and 2 Brigand Killers. And yeah, someone noticed earlier that a Brigand Killer has the same score as a Nomad Executioner. That is from base Hardened. I don't think I changed either of those. If so, if that's true. That does seem a bit off, but you know, I don't make the rules. Fencer's going to be bouncing around like crazy with the Alps. Very likely. Very likely. The Hexen is not going to get any freebie charms because there are no undead on the side of the Cudetat. Time to charm some Fencers, if successful, would dramatically change the outcome of the match. Who's faster, Alps or Fencers? I'm guessing Fencers are. But I don't know. They're both pretty fast. 50k on the Booba. You must excuse yourself to the Booba Observatory to witness the fight. Yes. Gotta zoom in. Get the best view. Pretty close prediction. Looks like we've got slightly more believers in Brokeback Ballin. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Always bet on Booba coin. I don't know. Could be a pump and dump scam. That's a euphemism. All right, let's see how this goes. Fencers are faster, but they waited. And now they're taking a nap. Can she charm? No. Goes for the Barbarian King. If successful, would have been a huge swing, but it wasn't, so it isn't. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Alp and Annette. A tale as old as time. Alp's kind of getting wrecked, though. Good sleep. Good sleeps. Oh, and a fencer's converted. A fencer has been converted. Alert, alert. I wonder where the Barbarian King's gonna go. Is he gonna go for the flank on the Booba? No, just kind of stands there. A little friendly fire there from a charmed fencer. The fencers don't have much hit points. So the Alps actually do a really big, like, when they do that attack, the follow-up attack on a sleeping enemy, it's a lot of damage. High ground is such a troll in these maps. Yeah, but it's so fun. It's so fun. I think actually I could technically set the terrain to be purely flat. There is an option for that. I would need to announce that I'm doing that for people to know when drafting. But I kind of like the random high ground. Oh! Booba eliminated. That's not a good thing for Brokeback Ballin. That's not a good sign. Nice one, my king. Booba coin recession. Yeah, it was a pump and dump after all. And now things are crumbling for Brokeback Ballin. So fast. So fast. One single Alp remains. No, my Booba coins. A fencer on the back line using recover. Fortunately, Booba coin was but a fraction of your portfolio. Alp trying to put anyone he can to sleep, but is not going to be enough. One step closer to usurping the throne. Whew, big attack from the Barbarian King. The Alp's head flying away. And Cudetat takes the W. Cudetat with a big win there. You love to see it. All right, up next, we have Big Swordlance versus Curious Mix. Should be a pretty good match. At this point, they all are. I don't know why I say that, but it's true. So I'm gonna say it anyway. Sometimes predictability is nice, you know? You made the Alp team 3 minutes after Slurgy told me we were battle brawling. Love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay. Big Swordlance versus Curious Mix. On the side of Big Swordlance, we've got the front line of impenetrable skeletons, the skeleton legionnaires with the shields, and then a backline of 2 polearm conscript and 2 ancient dead with the big old reaper's scythe thing. And then on the side of Curious Mix, we got 2 geists, I should say, a Shrat, a mercenary, 2 barbarian chosen, and its Zweihander. A curious mix indeed. Geists will be unable to spook most of the units on the side of Big Swordlance. That is certainly a mix. It is certainly a mix. All in on Curious Mix, 12 points. I actually don't even know how channel points work at all. Like, literally. I have no concept for how they are accumulated, what all you can really do with them. I know some streamers make it so you can use them in some interesting way, other than just simply whatever this is. I don't know. You have them, then you don't. Yeah, that's fair. Being able to Gamba makes this quite a bit more fun. It really does. It really does. It really does. You can claim whatever point value you end up with pride. You love to see it. You love to see it. For some reason, you can't use your channel points. Oh, it looks like you just did. Right? Isn't that channel points to highlight a message? Betting is the main... I mean, it's pretty much the only one. Okay. Oh, for wagers? Really? No idea. No idea why that might be. But it looks like we've got slightly more believers in Curious Mix. A curious choice. Let's see how this goes. 60k on Curious Mix. Your coffers have dwindled, but you know anything about gambling, it's that your next bet is always the one you're definitely gonna make it big with. That's so true. That Ancient Legionary not doing the shield wall while in the most dangerous position is a curious choice. Nine 90% of the gamblers quit before they win big. I feel obligated that these statements are made in good fun. However, I can't help myself. If you have an actual gambling problem, like with real money, not channel points, you should seek help. And if you really do it much at all, you probably have a problem. That's my statement. I don't know. I actually have all sports and betting related ads turned off on YouTube completely, where they give me that control. And on Twitch, well, I just minimize the amount of ads that get played. Anyway. Don't let them lure you in with the free money. It's a fake. They know they expect to get money off of you. Don't let them. Fuck them. Yeah, anyway, back to memes, right? In this context, gambling is fun. Real life out of control gambling is a really good way to ruin your life, absolutely. So don't do it. Don't do any gambling. Any amount can very easily, very quickly, become out of control gambling. So far, the front line of Big Swordlance, by the way, sorry for the Slurgy can't help it PSA. The front line of, of Big Swordlance is kind of falling apart. Will the Shrat strat be able to sustain? This is pretty close. It's pretty close. Ooh, big attack there. Taking out that barbarian is indeed a big deal. I don't know that the Shrat's going to have enough damage, though. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Warscythe not attacking twice per turn. Yeah, just the positioning. Not getting, oh, whatever that perk is called. They stand at the worst possible spots? Yes. Leverage, yeah, leverage. Big attack from the Shrat, but I don't know. Ooh, a cute little sapling has spawned. No, I don't know if they'll attack the sapling, because they'll consider it a more vulnerable enemy. I'll be interested to see what happens here. And does. An absolutely foolish attack. Will that be enough to turn the tide? Maybe. This mercenary has lived a really long time standing in front of those Geists. "4v4 now, however, the side of Curious Mix, the two Geists just hanging out. Big attacks there on the mercenary. Geists are doing work. I mean, they keep making this conscript run away. So they are doing that at least. Shrat seems like a decent anti-ancient undead unit. Yeah, I think that's true. But the Shrat falls. And with the big tree down, I don't think this mercenary is going to be able to cut it. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, now it's over. Agreed. Can the ghost do it? Kind of don't think so. So far stays alive. Incredible. But only for a little while. And Big Swordlance claims the win. Better luck next time, Curious Mix. Up next, we have Friedewald's Finest versus Beauty and the Beast. So we'll get those teams loaded up. You know, I was in such a hurry this morning, I didn't even have time to get any breakfast. I am completely empty of food, but I am full with BattleBrawl. It's making up for it. All I have in me is coffee, and now sparkling water. That's all right. Who needs calories to function when you've got the BattleBrawl? Okay. The teams are up. On the side of Friedewald's Finest, we've got 3 Squires, 2 Knights, 1 Halberder, and the old military donkey. On the side of Beauty and the Beast, we have an Orc Warlord, 4 Nomad Executioners, and a Fencer. Fencer. Predictions up, place your bets, indeed. 12 points on Friedewald's Finest, a huge bet, probably betting it all. The Donkey of Doom. You know, the thing about the military donkey is that though I do, of course, want to make sure people know that it does literally nothing, and I put do nothing in the drafting form, it doesn't, that's kind of not exactly true, right? The military donkey is an irresistible bait for units that just desperately need to loop around the backside to hit a vulnerable enemy. And that Orc Warlord might be too tempted by the donkey. What's the difference between that and a civilian donkey? I think they're the same. I think they just have a different visual, but I'm not 100% sure. Nomad Executioner must pursue donkey. Right. Yeah, the cargo they pull is different. There it is. 130k. The entire fortune on the finest donkey team in the land. Brother Squigs has never let me down. Ooh, big bet. Big bet there by Falsters. You love to see it. You love to see it. Orc Warlord only in it for that ass. Necromancer transforms everyone into military donkeys? Yeah, the Necromancer has been an interesting unit. Okay. Looks like the poll and predictions are closed. Actually, poll just has a hot minute remaining. But it's just about to close, and so let's see how this goes. Squires bravely charging forward. Let's see who our knights are. Sir Hallstein and Sir Erwin. Battle lines are meeting. Halberder has a halberd this time. Oh, Nomad Executioner is going for the split shield. Don't do that, you idiots. Ooh. Oh, double stun from... Ooh, that double stun is a huge deal. Huge deal. Yeah, 2 flails is big against knights. Double attack from the halberd. Pretty strong. Okay. Big attacks from the fencer. I don't... Okay, this is gonna be... Ooh. Questionable choice from Thrak Talun. Ooh, riposte. Yeah, these flails are a really big deal against the knights. They really are. Ooh, missing those stuns. Sir Halston's Squire. A lot of blood spilled by both sides. This remains a very close match. Ooh, okay. Nomad Executioner is doing work. Going for the donkey. Questionable play. Will we get a big old round swing from the Orc Warlord? Of course we do, and only hits his ally. Decides not to round swing this time. Ooh. Sir Halstein being the last remaining unit, losing his shield, spreading out his damage, unwise. And there it is, Beauty and the Beast. The Orc Warlord remains a strong unit. Who could have predicted this? Not me. And of course, that mostly only happened because I cursed Friedewald's finest. Whoops. My bad, my bad, my bad. All right. Only 4 teams remain now. Only 4 teams. We're getting down to the short rows, as it were. God and the Undead versus Cudetat. As you all know, I have always preached against the sins of greed and gluttony. Indeed. Wise words, Father Falsers. The main screen is up. And so, you're so excited for the secret final boss? There's like two. There's two secret final bosses. I mean, four, but just... I'll show you. I'll show you at the end. Okay. We have an Anointed Knight. A medium elite skeleton. A Fault Finder. A Necro Savant. A Zombie Bodyguard. And 2 Geists on the side of God and the Undead. And then on the side of Cudetat, we have a Barbarian King, 3 Fencers, and 2 Bandit Killers. What are those secret final bosses? It's a secret. Broad Metal Luck 2 just simply showing off their channel points. Prediction and poll are up. Looks like so far we've got more believers in God and the Undead. The Anointed Knights, they're strong. They're very strong. All in on Cudetat. Is that your team, Furious Sheep? Whose team is that? You just went all in? Ooh, oh boy. Oh, we've got 2 big all-in bets opposing each other, one right after the other. Who is your team? Oh, okay. Nice. That's a good one, Sneak A. You betrayed me, Sheep. You betrayed me. Top 10 anime betrayals right here in chat. And of course, this is the semi-final round, it should be stated. So this is the... You know, one of these 2 teams is going to make it to the finals, but only one. Your 120 all in against 250k equal bets. Equal bets, equal bets. Just 12 seconds remain on our prediction. There will be a pew for you in the congregation when the demons of greed catch up with you after this battle. Well, we'll see. 59% of channel points going towards God and the Undead. Are the finals going to be played on the South Arena map? No, the finals are going to be played on the same map. You just want to know how things would have played out if not for the resurrection bug? Yeah. Understandable. I understand, Dark Paladin, the desire to want to know, and I agree, because that was you had a really strong team with a good theme, and Mr. Necro was quite safe with the other members of the squad. You wonder how the events results would be skewed with different terrains like forest or swamp? Yeah, I think maybe for the next one I might just run it on different terrain to see how it goes. These battle brawls, what a treat. Thank you, Slurgy, for organizing these, and thank you for bringing them so much enthusiasm. Hey, you're welcome. They're a lot of fun. The enthusiasm is just natural because they're exciting. Fencers deciding to attack the... Why? Just attack the knight, you fools. Bodyguard's not working right, kind of hurts too. Yeah. That's true. Brigand Killer. Doing a pretty effective attack against the Necro Savant. So far, both teams playing to their strengths. Nothing too noteworthy. Feel like either side could take it. Skeletons, excuse me, the ghosts, Geists. The Geists making these fencers flee is actually a pretty big deal. Huge stun on the Barbarian King, not letting him adrenaline. Necro Savant going to replenish his life total. Smart move. Lord Hartwig holding the front lines pretty well. Very well, in fact. Barbarian King really struggling to get through the shielded knight there. Necrosavant healing up. Really got hit hard by that Brigand Killer. Fencer claiming some big attacks. Okay. Will the Geists be able to properly scare these units at the start? If they can. Ooh, they almost managed to, but the Fencer's going to get some attacks. What will he choose to do? Miss. Ghosts, legit, really good in this match. God and the Undead, I mean, look. The Geists are working. In this particular fight, they found their niche. Yeah, the Geists are really hard carrying. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, good pull from, wow. Honestly, God and the Undead is like a well-oiled machine here. This is crazy. It's like they're working exactly as designed. That doesn't happen. What's going on? Why would the Necrosavant just walk? You can teleport. That was a choice. Oh, maybe a good one. Fault Finder doing a weird pull, but honestly, maybe a good idea. Excuse me, this is a battle brawl. They're supposed to be useless? I know, right? So now, Cudetat with just one unit remaining. It's a big one. It's a spooky one. But will it be enough? Barbarian King now completely surrounded. And stunned. Ooh, ooh, big stun. Very big stun. Not looking good for the Barbarian King now. Unless... Okay. Just kidding. It looks like God and the Undead worked exactly as designed. Kind of incredible. God and the Undead makes it to the finals. Well played, Cudetat, but it wasn't enough. Up next, we have Big Swordlance versus Beauty and the Beast. Will these Swordlances be enough to take out an Orc Warlord? Whew, it's a tall order. It's a tall order. But as the old saying goes, when in doubt, Swordlance it out. Teams are up on screen now. This is our final semifinal. Yeah, final semifinal match. I was like, is that correct? On the side of Big Swordlance, of course, we've got our 5 frontline skeletons with shields and our 4 favorite polearm units. 2 conscripts and 2 ancient dead. On the side of Beauty and the Beast, we've got the Orc Warlord, 4 nomad executioners, and a fencer. Now the Fencer's not really going to be able to put out that much damage against the skeletons. However, the Orc Warlord certainly will. This is a tough one to predict. This is a tough one to predict. Brothers, Forsake the sinful path of the gambler, for the righteous know the gambler's stats are low amongst his more righteous brothers. But really good resolve. And like, if you need a brother with good defensive stats, the gambler's a pretty good one. Yeah, this is, you love how hard-hitting the Beast team is? Yeah. Beauty and the Beast has some serious heavy hitters. It's a good squad. These are both really strong squads, for sure. Falters really went through character development this Battle Brawl. Really like his character arc. You know, Indeed. Sometimes it takes a misstep to recenter your own sense of priorities. Anyway, looks like we've got more believers in Beauty and the Beast at the moment, 76%. No believers in the big Swordlance, or at least not as many. Let's see what happens in the final semi-final match. Dovcool works in mysterious ways. Indeed. Nomad Executioner's wasting no time. 3 flails? That's going to be a pretty big deal against all these shielded enemies. A pretty big deal. Oh, shit. The Reaper's Scythe, bringing the pain. Fencer was given some fleshy targets. This is the closest you'll get to the green machine this Battle Brawl. Oh man. I miss young orcs too. Young orcs from, was that Battle Brawl number 2? Kind of came out of nowhere, being super strong. Ancient Palatinus, oh, big reaps. Big reaps, however, the front line has already crumbled. Fencer with 3 attacks, pretty strong. The Green Machine won Battle Brawl number 2. Did they really? Oh, I love that. I love that. And only lost to the team of Mass Frosty Unholds, which wins over everything. Okay, right. Yeah, it's looking like Beauty and the Beast in incredibly... I don't know, why would you not do a reap there? Oof. Big Swordlance falling apart. You know, the... wow, alright. The Nomad Executioner was not on my list of overpowered units, but maybe it should have been. Beauty and the Beast made it look easy. Made it look so easy. Better luck next year to Big Swordlance. And so for our final match, oh buddy. Now keep in mind, this will be a best 2 out of 3. God and the Undead versus Beauty and the Swordlance. It'll be a best 2 out of 3, but there will be only one opportunity to place your predictions. And then we're gonna do all 3 matches back to back. I should say back to back to back, unless it ends up being where there only is a need for 2. Beauty and the Beast, bottom team if they win. Team 2 really wins every time. Ooh, Brig if true. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. The teams are up on screen now. We have, on the side of God and the Undead, God themselves, the Anointed Knight. Then we've got a smattering of other fun units. an elite medium skeleton, a fault finder, a necro savant, a bodyguard zombie, and 2 geists. On the side of Beauty and the Beast, we've got an orc warlord, 4 nomad executioners, and a fencer. Nomad executioner is a hedge knight with pocket sand and a guaranteed not to be shield enjoyer. Indeed. Executioners are beefy enough to last until the warlord gets around. They really are. Yeah, the executioner was probably understated. If so, Beauty and the Beast, congratulations on finding it. But I insist, after we declare the winner here, I've got a couple more squads I'm going to put them through that are actually, I'm fairly convinced, are actually much stronger. Looks like we've got more believers in Beauty and the Beast. This is our final round of predictions for the day. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. Time to go all in, as Furious Sheep has done. You went for 4 executioners and lost the first round. Ah, that's true, Ballin. That's true. Slurgy, have you ever played the Camps and Artifacts mod? I have not, Captain Cooper. I have not. You think the Geist Screams are going to be very important for God and the Undead? They are. The Geist Screams are going to be very important. Trash Comps doesn't believe they'll be enough, but they will be important. I agree with that. Just 5 seconds left. %61% for Beauty and the Beast. Let's see how it plays out. Again, once this first match concludes, I'm going to jump right into the second. Fencer will be important too, to see if they can kill the Geist, for sure. Brothers, waste not your tithes on these worldly wagers, for each coin earned in sin despoils your very spirit. Seek not worldly riches, but instead seek richness of the soul, and dedicate yourselves to the one true run. Wise words. Already getting a good start there on that bottom Nomad Executioner. Huge stun. Huge stun. I was like, how did the Fencer get there? Now I understand. The pocket sand. First blood has been claimed from both sides now. The Orc Warlord going for a big flank, as you do. Ooh, Fencer. Big attacks, big kills. Fault Finder has been eliminated. Just 3 units remain for the side of God and the Undead. 1 God, 2 Undead. Always hitting the stuns. Kind of incredible. Okay, at first I questioned that rotation. Now I don't. That was a good rotation. Okay. Punching. An interesting choice. Fencer activates Rebuke. Where's the Necro Savant going? Oh, stun. 2-turn stun. 2-turn stun. Brave round swing ended up okay. Destroying the shield of the zombie bodyguard. Questionable choice. Weird move from the Necro Savant. A lot's going to be riding on the Necro Savant. Ooh, its ability to stay alive, but gets stunned for 2 turns. Necro Savant's going to die on the back lines there. For sure. Procs 9 lives. Necro who? Indeed, indeed, indeed. Beauty and the Beast. Pretty strong comp. Lord Kala doing the 1-2-3 punch. No shield, no mace. Big problems. Oof, oof, oof. You know, one of the problems with Lord Kala is his helmet wasn't very good. So that's the first match. Hold steady, hold steady, hold steady. It's a best 2 out of 3. The fencer really did some work. Yeah, the fencer really did some work. Ooh, we got a champion. Champion alert, champion alert. The Cursed. Oh, 2 champions. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Naguk. 2 champions on the side of Beauty and the Beast. It's over. It's over. It's over. God and the Undead is doomed. God and the Undead is doomed. Lord Hasso, you have no chance. I am sorry, my friend. It's over. It's over. These Nomad Executioners are going to bring the pain. Now the Fencer's gonna die, at least, you know, relatively early on, it looks like. That's something. If you're gonna lose, you're glad you lost to the Grand Champions. That's the spirit. The thing about losing to whoever ends up winning the whole tournament is you feel like you got in second place. I've played in enough tournament style games in my life to have that delusion placed in my head. I'm an expert at it, in fact. Lord Hasso at least has a good weapon to deal with these enemies, but an incredible coping mechanism? Oh, definitely. It's a very important coping mechanism. You lost to the champions, that's what you're telling yourself? Exactly. Pretty much second place. Lord Hasso, ooh, okay. I mean, big attacks from the Necro Savant. No, the Necro Savant's just gonna teleport away. And get a kill. What is this Orc Warlord doing? Is he throwing? You don't think God and the Undead could do this, do you? Ooh, nope. Nope, sure don't. Okay, not a chance actually. There was a moment. There was a moment. That moment has passed. And there it is, our champions. Ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-bum. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Goes to Beauty and the Beast. Congratulations to Beauty and the Beast. I don't even know who submitted that team. I would have to go back and look at the submission form. Of course, your grand prize for winning the Battle Brawl is a special roll on the Discord where you can gloat for forevermore that you were a champion of Battle Brawl number 7. But I've got just a little bit of bonus content before we go. 1,350,283 channel points was in the pool of that last one. That is crazy. That is so many. Good stuff. These are always fun. I've got just a tiny bit of bonus content for you. A tiny bit of bonus content. I ask you this simple question. Who do you think would win between Beauty and the Beast and this? Who do you think wins this? I ask you. Who do you think wins this, my friends? Who do you think wins 5 lawnmowers versus Beauty and the Beast? Because I did randomly sort the 34 submitted teams and just cut the last 2, this was one of the teams that was submitted. You think the flesh golems? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen here. It's definitely the flesh golems. The greater flesh golems are going to absolutely massacre this. But here's the deal. They're not even the strongest comp in the pool. Are you seeing this? And yes, they've got the multi-attack. And yes, it's just as disgusting as you might think. Are you seeing this? Not a single person drafted one of these fine lawnmowers. Not one. It's not that Beauty and the Beast isn't a good team for it, too. They're doing a good job. Not a single greater flesh golem, not a single one. Yeah, we did get a single team with lesser ones. What's the price on those greater flesh golems? 60. So you can field a team of 5. But there's another unit with the cost of 60 that absolutely smashes this. Anyone have any predictions as to what completely smashes this? Because these greater flesh golems will lose dramatically to a different unit in the pool. Are they in the design doc? You can't find them? They are. They're in the submission form. Nachos? Nope, not nachos. It was a drafted unit. Ifrits? No, Ifrits aren't a valid choice. I will say Beauty and the Beast is doing better than I thought they would, though. Shrats, I think? Oh, Shrats aren't even close. Shrats get completely destroyed. I don't think anyone's gonna guess it. I really don't. But we're gonna let this fight play out because it's beautiful. Drummers, obviously. Peasants? Nah. Squires, Anointed Knight. So that's a pretty strong comp. All right, so one of the 4 overpowered units, as you see here, is simply the Greater Flesh Golem. Oathbringers? No, not Oathbringers. Let me show you what beats the Greater Flesh Golems, and also will beat Beauty and the Beast. It's gonna beat everything. Skeleton, heavy, bodyguard. Now, you might look at this and say, ooh, that Skillington's is a typo, and it's perfect. Here's the deal. Why is this so good? You'll see. They have Phalanx. They're gonna sit together with a shield wall, and they have Rebuke with cleavers. They are basically unhittable, and damn near nothing will ever be able to hit them. We're gonna get a wasted turn at the start, like for sure, right? And in fact, this is about as bad as it gets for these Ancient Dead. Almost as bad as it gets because they split up. But as soon as they shield wall, they're never gonna get hit again. The multi-attacks are gonna miss, they're gonna rebuke. And I mean, I shouldn't say they'll never get hit again. They'll get hit a little bit, but not an amount that's relevant. Why do they take no damage on the corpse ability? Because they're overpowered. And the greater flesh golems are just gonna bleed to death, slowly but surely. And if you were to take this comp and put them against anything, they're never gonna die. They're unhittable, unkillable, they rebuke against everything, their damage is 5 billion. Like, they just win. And they only cost 60, and that's their score in-game. Would Unhold destroy the line? No. I mean, they would be able to break the shield wall, but the cleavers would outbleed. They lose to max hexes? I mean, that's true. They would lose to max hexen. Win by attrition, yeah. And I mean, it's not like the Greater Flesh Golems aren't doing their best. They're stunning, they're overwhelming. It's a very low hit chance, again, because the Greater Flesh Golems just happen to overwhelm. But they're just not gonna get hit. And they even broke formation, as you can see from this guy up top. But it's not gonna matter. Yeah, the golems are doing overwhelm, but they're still not hitting, right? And the Ancient Honor Guard are just responding with rebuke. Executioners like to break shields, though, to their detriment. I mean, maybe not to their detriment now that Phalanx is in the game, but it's still not going to be enough. Who submitted the Flesh Golem team? Wabakishko, a previous winner of BattleBrawls. So Wabakishko would have won, but unfortunately, and he's here. Yeah, so pretty incredible. It's a well done in finding the gap. But Wabakishko and I actually talked about this a tiny bit, and Wabakishko suggested an even more broken unit combination specifically. Can anyone guess what that is? That'll be the final 2 of the 4. Any guesses? Rebuke also seems unreasonably strong. Is it? It's not quite as strong against other compositions, but they're actually able to hit against other compositions because they're not overwhelmed. But that's true. Rebuke is unreasonably strong versus the golems, but testing this unit composition against just like a smattering of the strongest teams, they won pretty handily. These Ancient Honor Guards, they would have cleaned up. Even though it is true, they are particularly strong against the Greater Flesh Golems. Any final guesses about the team that will completely annihilate? Not even completely annihilate, it's actually somewhat close. There's a team that will beat these Ancient Honor Guards, though. Wabakishko knows, but only the 2 of us. I mean, okay, a hex will beat it. A hexen will beat it. Hex plus fencer? No. I mean, let's get rid of the hex. Something that's generally good. Yeah, 4 honor guard plus a hex will beat it. I mean, these are all true, but noble units only. I'll give people just a minute. If you're watching on YouTube, pause the video and see if you can reason it out. People did draft this, but never all together. I shall show you. An Anointed Knight. So you can't do 4. We're going to do 2 Anointed Knights and 3 Squires. That's all you need. The Anointed Knights plus the Squires are pretty crazy. For whatever reason, they can get multiple Squires. I don't really understand why, because the regular knights couldn't. The Squires with the stuns, they will always be confident, always. They have the Mentor's Presence, so their stats are absolutely cracked. And in fact, you could do some other combinations of Anointed Knights and Squires, but they're just so strong together that they're going to be able to do it. Good boy, George. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. You pick Knight Squire because they always spawn with blunt weapons to go against the Skeletons. Yeah, and that's that's a sensible choice. But I probably let the Anointed Knight exist with too low of a score. It is almost your comp, except you didn't go with the Anointed one. Exactly. Yep. That's all that happened. Now, the Ancient Dead are still going to put up a good fight. Not in this case, because of the way that one Honor Guard positioned himself. If they stick together, from my testing, the Ancient Honor Guard can still win this, but only if they remain all as 5 and the Noble side gets a little bit split up. But I did just a little bit of testing as I was setting up the teams and was surprised at how well this performed. But maybe I'm all wrong and there's something that's even stronger, right? Maybe there's some way you can fit Nomad Executioners in there to make something overpowered. That's right, I said line formation, dumb skeletons. The other thing is, since these units on the side of our noble friends have shield push, they can push them out of formation. However, this is looking actually pretty close. It actually could end up, well, I don't know. Our Ancient Honor Guard might win anyway. Or Honor Guard? Yeah, Ancient Honor Guard. Does 1 Anointed, 2 Flesh Golems, and 2 Squires fit? I don't know. That might be the strongest combo though, if it does. Yeah, Ancient Honor Guards are gonna die here. But that's your bonus content. Anyway. Flesh Golems are only dangerous in large numbers? Sure. How are Oathbringers? I don't even know. I think they are unimplemented. Or unchanged is maybe a better way of putting it. I think Oathbringers are unchanged from vanilla. In any meaningful capacity anyway. So. I'm gonna let this fight play out. But, great fun to be able to finally do a Battle Brawl again. I will be doing one more run for the Hardened submod of Battle Brothers Reforged. It'll be a fun challenge run. Some of you might be able to guess what it is. Some of you might not know. You don't know. You don't know. Hey, you're welcome, Trash Comps. I'm glad you were able to participate and enjoy. The next run that I start will be on a slight delay. I have to finish I'm doing a sort of retrospective video of my experience playing Hardened so far. I'm kind of learning my video editing software a little bit. That's why I got the green screen and everything. It turns out I had most of the things necessary to make a nice green screen experience from my musical recordings that I've done previously. Like I got a couple lights to the side of me that are illuminating the green screen behind me, which is apparently the real secret to having a nice green screen. But this isn't gonna be a permanent fixture, I don't think. But I will let people know in the Discord when the next run starts. I would expect it to be maybe a week or a week and a half from now, something like that. But again, I will announce those dates and times in the Discord when the time comes. You won't wanna miss it. It'll be a really fun one. It really will. You wanna see the snow? I know, there is snow behind me. There's a lot of snow. There's a lot of snow on the ground. And that's where I'm gonna call it for the day. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you to everyone who submitted teams, and congratulations to Beauty and the Beast. Whoever submitted that team, I'm gonna have to go find it, and you'll be given a fancy title on the Discord. And so, to all of you, wherever you are in the world, make it a good one. Ta-ta.